I told you all last night that we were going to have Gigi on today at noon. And Gigi is a woman of her word. We are so happy to have the 17-time Grand Slam champion on. And Gigi, I got to be honest, I miss you. I haven't seen you in so
I
long.
know.
But you're just
Been
so
busy.
busy with a lot of new things. So I thought
Yeah.
maybe it'd be cool to tell everybody what you've been up to lately. I know you have a lot of new
Yeah.
passions in your life.
Yeah. Well, so I just came off the summer where I, took people to Wimbledon and the French Open and the US Open. I spent 2 weeks at the US Open. Um, so that always keeps me busy this time of year. I also took people to Labor Cup this year. But, I started my foundation called Tennis for Hope, and I started that after my house flooded a year ago in the Florida hurricanes. For those who didn't follow, I live in a one-story house here in Tampa, Florida, on the water, and pretty much lost everything because it's a one-story house and 2 cars and just pretty much everything that touched the ground. So that was pretty devastating. But when I left the U.S. Open, I had decided that I was going to do more for foundation work. And I had a foundation when I was playing, and I kind of had let it die when I was raising kids. Don't have time for that really. So I decided that I was going to get more involved with that, and then the hurricanes happened. So I'm like, okay, so I had to quickly get my head out of my rear because I was obviously pretty devastated. And when the LA fires hit, which was 3 months after it, then that's kind of when we got into action, because the mission of the foundation is to help people in the tennis community affected by natural disasters. And we pretty quickly found out that the Palisades Tennis Center was affected, burned down. And I actually did one of my very first Gigi Method clinics in California was at the Palisades Tennis Center. And it's where I met Brian Fox, who's one of my dear friends, who's a pro at one of my clinics, who Pete, and who was the director of tennis here at Innisbrook. So I started raising money with a partnership with WTA Foundation while we waited for our 501c3 tax exempt status to come, and which we got by April. And then since then, we've given money to Palisades Tennis Center, a club in Asheville, North Carolina, that flooded after Hurricane Helene. And then I was in Central Texas, and that was very impactful, touring the camps that flooded. Met some of the parents that lost their kids there, because there was 3 kids who were in Marianne Swartz tennis program. Raised about $35,000 there with the help of also Gary Niederbaum, who's a former pro from Australia. So the mission, like I said, is to unite the tennis community in our response to natural disasters and help people in the tennis community affected. So I feel like we're making a lot of progress. Have had really good meetings with the USDA Foundation. USDA Texas are helping with these various. We have about $600,000 worth of grant applications, and so we need to raise more money so we can satisfy all that. But I committed to trying to fix all the courts that got flooded by the Guadalupe River. So that's my focus right now, is trying to raise more money to get those people back on the court. So
wow.
It's very rewarding. It's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding. I have a great board that does a lot of work, and I'm really happy with what I'm doing.
Great. Well, guys, first of all, I just want to acknowledge that you guys are here. I've been putting a lot of your comments up. We are at now 50, which is fantastic. And Gigi, if people are listening to this, do you have a website name for it, or should they go to your website?
Yeah, so it's tennisforhope.org, and basically you can donate any money you want, but it's a member-based organization. It's $1,000 minimum donation with a 3-year commitment. Help makes you become a member of the foundation, and we have special member events, like we're having our first member event in Indian Wells with the Bryan brothers, and it's a free for the members. They come. We're having a round robin, and Bryan brothers are going to do a concert. So it's either 1,000, 5,000, or 10,000. If you do 10,000, then you get to play with the Bryan brothers. And we're going to have an event also probably around the induction this year, or the US Open. And it's for the tennis community. It's people in the tennis community, helping people in the tennis community. So it's a pretty cool mission. And if anybody wants to become a member, that's great. But if you can only afford $50 or $100, that helps too. We're raising money for Jamaica right now. We have a link up for Jamaica relief. They're going to need a lot of help. So we don't know yet what, but it's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get to the fun stuff.
Yeah, I put the website up there. Well, let's get to the timely stuff, because we got a question already, and so I can't stay for the. So, guys, this is a Q&A session. So, get your questions ready for Gigi. You can ask her about strategy, singles, doubles,
Life on tour.
ask her maybe about
gossip,
watching the pros, gossip, like. Nothing's off limits until Gigi sees a question and says, that's off limits.
That's off limits.
but I don't think this first one's off limits. So this is a good one to get started with, I think. This is a nice light ball one for you. So this is, I would like to know, ask Gigi, what's a creative way to get out of the highway to hell besides lobbying? Can you
creative.
explain the highway to hell, and is there another way out of it?
All right. So highway to hell is the worst position in doubles, which is when you're the sole baseliner and the other three players on the court are at the net. So your team is in the highway to hell. Okay. So the easiest way to get out of the highway to hell is first off is to serve and volley, right? If you serve and volley, you're never going to be in the highway to hell. Even if you serve and approach, and by that I mean serve, take a couple steps forward, assuming your opponent doesn't hit a screamer past you, take the next ball and come in. And then also return and come in. Just hit your return and get to the net. And if your opponent's serving and volleying, then all four players are going to end up at the net. And that's better than being stuck in the baseline. So it all comes down to get your rear to the net to get out of the highway to hell.
What if the highway to hell happens to you, though?
But it shouldn't happen. If you do those two things, okay, so if you do those two things, it shouldn't happen. But if you can't serve and volley and you can't return and come in, then your sole goal at this point is to hit the ball low, right? So if you're thinking, and I talk about hitting the ball into zones. Do I have my court here? I don't have my court. So I always talk about hitting the ball into the zones. You know, if you're looking across the net and you see two players, right? There's two players there. There's three holes. There's the cross alley, there's the middle, and there's the alley in front of you. So always think of hitting the ball into a zone or a hole to open up another hole, right? So if you hit it into your alley in front of you, the players are going to shift. Now you've opened the far alley. If you hit it to the middle, a lot of times both players go. Now you open the outside alleys. So keep the ball low. And anytime you hit the ball low, it's an opportunity to come in because they have to pop it up, right? So that's another way. And he said not lobbing, right? He didn't want lob as an answer.
Yeah, but lob. I mean, why not take the easy way out, guys? I mean, lobbing is great.
Yeah,
right?
but the easy way out is to serve and volley or return and come in.
Well,
and you're never, ever, 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 ever in the highway to hell.
Yeah, if you're not in the highway. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I have another question. Getting the ball low for most club players, do you recommend that they first start working on the rip and dip,
brushing,
or the chip?
Both. Right? I mean, the easiest, I think easier to hit topspin, right? Because the ball's dropping. It doesn't require as much feel. The chip, you have to have feel, which under pressure can go away. Like you get tight. It's not so easy to chip under pressure, but under pressure, you can rip away. Like the faster you swing, the more revolutions on the ball, the quicker the ball's going to be dropping. So I always say rip away.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here is a question. Guys, this is from Sir Gordon Tanner, who you took a picture with.
Gordon, of course.
That was awesome, by the way.
Yes.
So, how would you counter a lobbing? I guess you're in a match and people are lobbing. What do you do to combat that?
People are lobbing to you. Okay, so if you're getting beat by lobs, I would say bring them in. That's my first answer. Like if you just hit short returns and bring them in, then they can't lob you. If you can't lob from the net, right? So that's one possible way to stop you from lobbing. Work on your overhead, Gordon. So if you have a good overhead, then people are going to stop lobbing you. And maybe don't close so much, because if you're over closing, you're going to get lobbed. It's going to make, hitting the overheads harder because you're having to back up. And then last case scenario, use the magical switch move, which was the third video on your free video series, right?
Yeah. Did you see your preview video? Did you see it come out?
I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it. Well,
Gigi's got a
I didn't watch the whole thing, but
yeah.
I know what it says.
Yeah, she knows what she made. But yeah, Gigi's video is coming out. I think you're going to be tomorrow, the next day too. Her entire video. So
the whole
it's
thing
coming out very
good.
soon. We're growing here. We're at 71. Here we go.
Yeah, I see it. I see this one. Yeah, that's good. This is a good question.
You like this one? Go ahead.
Yes, I do. Because okay, so what you're seeing from the tour might be a little deceptive. Yes, they're playing one up, one back, but let's see if I don't know whoever already knows the answer to this question, but do you know what percentage of you probably know this, Pete? So don't answer, but I want to see some people trying to answer this question. What percentage of the points are won by the baseliner and on tour? Like person standing in the baseline, what percentage of the times do they hit a winner? Can you guys put some numbers here?
Yeah, put some numbers in the chat, guys.
Best ground strokes in the world. What percentage? 15%, 20%, 2%, 100%. Like best ground strokes in the world. Anybody?
You guys got that? You're playing the doubles match. What percent is the baseliner winning the point off their shot in doubles?
20%. Okay, we got a 20%. Here we go in doubles. 10%, 20%, 15%. Here they come. 5% is the closest one, but not the winner yet. Hawk 1407. Lower than that. Give me some more numbers. Okay, the answer is 3%. All right. So a pro standing in the baseline. Did everybody say 3%? No. Hawk was the closest. Oh, here we go.
Now
we got 3%. There it is. Lori 6479 wins. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so what that means is that a pro standing in the baseline, best ground strokes in the world, 3% of the time they hit a winner. That was shocking to me. I thought it would be way higher than that. So the other 37% of points are won by the net player, their partner, or anybody standing at the net, could be the opposing team, right? And 60% of all the points played in doubles ended in error. So when you're watching the pros playing one up, one back, what are they trying to do? They're not trying to win the point from the baseline. They're trying to set their partner up to put the ball away for them, or they're trying to draw the error from the opponent. So the way the pros hit the ball so forcefully, like it's very unrelatable, even for me watching. Like, and I'm sure for people watching, you can't relate to what they're doing. There's no way you're ever going to hit ground strokes like that, right? So I encourage people to watch doubles in the 90s or 80s. Recreational players, that's kind of how more relatable for recreational players, right? That's how doubles used to be played. What percentage wise won, because recreational players don't have these ground strokes, right? So if you go back to pull old tapes from the 70s and the 80s and what was working back then, that's what works in recreational tennis.
I love that. Okay, so I see Frank's question. I'm going to go to Frank's question, but before we have Mariana, and I want to have her question go first. I want to give her a shout out. I don't know if Gigi's seen this yet. I know she's super busy, so we're just happy that she's here. But look what she made for TennisCon this year.
Wow!
We have a TennisCon tumbler
ball. Oh, tumbler!
Yeah, everybody's on it. There, Gigi,
I see.
You see? So everybody from TennisCon is on it. All right.
That is so cool.
And I figured, I just want to get this because I know you guys are on. I'd like to give one of these away right now. And so I just want to.
Whoever said 3% first. No?
Huh?
Okay. Whoever said 3% first? No.
No. Here's the question.
Okay.
Are you ready? And you have to know the answer.
Okay.
You know.
Wait, I got to join the chat. I joined the chat.
Don't tell the answer. We're going to see the first one who gets it right. Guys, comment in the comment. First one to get it gets this tumbler.
Wait, don't do it yet because I'm still joining. Oops, we're having trouble. Darn, I can't join. Okay, I'm gonna say
you're not gonna you don't get to win. You're the question's about you.
Okay, got it.
I would think you know this.
Okay, got it.
What year did Gigi Fernandez win her first Grand Slam title in doubles?
Oh,
what year was it?
You're aging myself.
Below. Gigi, please tell me you know what year it is.
What do you think?
I would think you'd know.
All
right,
what year? Are you kidding me?
We'll be waiting to see who answers first, and then you're going to win a tumbler, and we'll send it out to you. Email me.
Somebody's Google quick. ChatGPT. Nope. Wrong. Nope. 97. Nope. Come on. 97 said you already retired. Somewhere between those two.
No one's answered it yet.
ChatGPT, quick, ask. Okay,
Isn't that
so
interesting? You're saying ChatGPT over Google. It's like replacing.
well, either one.
I'm addicted to ChatGPT
I use
now.
ChatGPT like daily, 10 times a day. Okay, so do you think that the pros play one of them?
How are people not getting this yet? Oh wait, we have
1967. F off.
Mark Gordon, get out of this live stream.
I'm not that old. Jesus, I'm only 60.
Do we really not have an answer yet? I can't believe this.
That's right. Somebody will get it.
All right, we have new comments below.
But I wanted to answer that question. What was
1988?
Yes, thank you. Woohoo!
Okay.
US Open.
Fed
White.
Fanatic. You have
Snow
got
Lotus. Oh, Fed Fanatic.
Fed Fanatic.
Now, he said Gigi Fanatic too. You knew that answer.
So let me put this up. Where's Fed Fanatic? Okay, Fed Fanatic. Email me at crunchtimecoaching@gmail.com. Okay. And send me your address. I'll put my email up in here. Send me your address and I will get this in the mail to you. Okay. Congratulations. 1988. Tell us about 1988.
Okay.
Who you played with, what tournament.
Oh, yeah. So I played with Robin White, and I actually was going to quit. I got to the US Open in 1988 and I was done with tennis. I've been playing for 4 years. I was not being as successful as I wanted to be. You know, I think part of the problem I really had a hard time losing because I didn't lose a lot as a junior. I grew up in Puerto Rico and there was no competition. So I won everything in Puerto Rico, my age group and the two age groups above. And then I went to college and made the finals of NCAA as a freshman, lost 3 matches all year. And then I turned pro. And then when you turn pro, you lose every single week twice, like lose. And I just had it. I didn't know that losing were, learning opportunities, and I was immature. And so I was going to quit. And my agent said, okay, before you quit, why don't you go meet Dr. Jim Lair, and he's a famous sports psychologist. And he taught me 2 things. The first one was what to do between points, which is critical. Like, what are your thoughts? What are you doing? Where are you looking? Your routines. I had no routines. And then the second thing was he asked me if I knew how to act. And I said, well, I don't know. What do you want me to do? And he said, I want you to act like you're having fun. I know you hate tennis, and I know you're going to quit after this Grand Slam, but I want you to go play your first match, and I want to fool everybody in the crowd. So when they see that girl playing, I want them to think that girl's having a good time. I'm like, I'll try it. So played the first match, won 6-4 in the third. Came off the court, and he said, are you having any fun? I'm like, no. I mean, tennis, after 4 on the third, tennis is really stressful. I don't care what you're playing. If it's your club championship or Wimbledon, it's stressful. Every point matters. So he said, okay, we'll do it the next round. And I did it the next round, and I won that. Did it the next round and won that. Did it the next round and won that. And then we're playing in the semifinals of the US Open against the best team in the history of tennis, male or female. Who can name it?
I'm not giving away another tumbler, though. But
best team in the history of tennis,
easy.
Male or female. Easy answer. Come on. Are you guys fans? Let's go. Okay, I'm not going to say who, but I'm going to tell you what happened. So we had no chance of winning this match because we're playing the best team in the history of tennis. But somehow we won the match, and we made it to the finals, and we won the US Open. When I came off that semifinal match, Jim says to me, are you having fun now? I'm like, you better believe I'm having fun. I'm in the finals of the US Open. And then we won. I won the US Open, and I was going to quit. So that was obviously life-changing, meeting him and learning how to manage my emotions. And no one knows who that is. What a shame.
No one's answered yet? I can't believe that. All right, well, let's get.
Okay, why don't put back.
Say who it is?
No, don't say it. They have to
we'll
figure it out.
We'll get to it.
Somebody will put it there.
2 questions now. Do you think the pros play one up and one back because they hit their ground strokes so much better? No, I don't think that's it.
I'll tell you what I think. There's 2 things. The first one is it's really hard to volley. Well, part of it, maybe yes. Like, it's really hard. The harder the ball is hit, the harder it is to volley it, right? Because you have less time to react because you're closer to the net. So, and it's also hard to hold the force of the shot coming at you with a volley. It's much easier from when the ground's where you put your whole body back into the shot. But here you're like absorbing power, and that can be hard to control. A. B, nowadays it's power and spin, right? When we were playing, there was plenty of power. Like Lindsay Davenport and Anna Kournikova hit the ball as hard as Venus and Serena. All right, there's no question. Or you can ask them; they would all agree. But they hit it flat, right? And then when the ball is hit flat, I would be standing, in the neutral position on the center of the service box, which is the neutral position, and I could still hit a waist level volley, right? But now you could be standing 3 feet from the net, and every volley you're hitting is from your shoe tops. So you're constantly having to volley up. So because of the spin, right? So if you're constantly volleying up, there's no way to be good at doubles if all you're doing is popping the ball up and people are just teeing off. So I think it's the technology. It's the technology of the strings and the rackets that really help the players flick the ball down and make volleyers constantly have to hit up on their volleys.
Yeah, I think there's like different types of talent too, because I think it was you and I think if I'm correct, we were interviewing Todd Martin, and he talked about how when the strings changed, that he said a lot of what he considered to be better athletes, but maybe not good ball strikers, would then beat him when they couldn't beat him before, because he was such a great clean ball striker and he could hit the ball clean through the court and they couldn't hit as clean as him.
Right.
But then once they had the spin on the ball, all of a sudden their speed and athleticism, they had that advantage over him. So it's kind of like different talents, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, I didn't scroll down, but people knew that it was Martina and Pam. So kudos to all of you.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're doing great. We're almost at 100 now. And we have another question from Frank. Frank,
if you're the service partner,
should you direct your volley at the receiving partner at the tee? Or someone.
Okay, yeah. So if you're kind of poaching or the ball comes to you, like first of all, if you're poaching, you should always hit the ball in the direction that you're going. So you're moving that way, you hit the volley that way. You don't want to be moving this way and hit the volley this way because you leave your whole half of the court open. Can you put the question back up?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, and then it was where to hit it. So so there's 3 places you can hit the ball, and this is in order of high percentage. You hit it at the net player. You hit it between the net player and the baseliner, and then you hit it into the net player's alley, so the far alley, not the alley in front of you, but the alley across from you. And I say that's an order of high percentage because if you try to hit it in the alley, that's probably the only one you're going to miss wide, right? If you hit at the net player, you're not going to miss it. If you hit it between the net player and the baseliner, you're probably not going to miss it. So, I always look for shot selection that minimizes your likelihood of missing the shot. Right. So if you're aiming for the alleys, you're more likely to miss because it's closer to the outside of the court. So keep the ball in the middle. So going first at the net player, I think it's the right call unless they have very, very, very good hands. And most recreational players do not. So if you are playing somebody who can reflex a volley back at you, then maybe don't play it there. But most people don't have the hands to reflex a volley off a volley, particularly if it was well struck.
Good stuff. All right, let me get rid of that. All right. So Gigi, one thing you do is you take people to, and maybe tell people what you have going on next year, where they can find more out about it. But you take them to pro events. You take them to Labor Cup, Indian Wells, the Grand Slams. What are you seeing?
So fun.
What are you seeing?
Well, first of all, I'm seeing that I'm really slowing down because I used to do a lot more on the court stuff, a lot more traveling, but I'm getting too old for that. So the only opportunity now, for the most part, to learn from me is at Indian Wells. I still do that one. I have 4 camps there every year. They sell out. Usually by August, they're sold out. And then I start taking a wait list for the following year. I already have 30 people on the wait list. So if anybody ever wants to go learn from me, Indian Wells, as long as I'm doing camps, I think I'm going to keep doing Indian Wells because they make it really, really easy for past players. It's a great tournament for past players to come back and they give us credentials and make you feel welcomed. And it's really a great event. So I'm probably going to always do that until I can't do it anymore. And then I also bring people to Wimbledon. This year I'm doing the Italian Open, which I haven't been to in 20 years. So I'm really excited about that. I already have 12 people going, and my groups are small. I try to keep them under 20, kind of boutique-y, and everybody gets to know everybody. And that's probably the funnest part. It's like, for me, it's the connections that I've made with people that have come to my trips, and some of my best friends now are people that I've known through tennis in the last 10 years, in the years where I've been teaching and retired. So yeah, those are fun. I'll probably do something around, I can't say Roger's induction because he hasn't been officially voted on, but I mean, he is going to be inducted this year in August. And that's going to be really special. So I'll probably do something around that. And then I'm leaning a lot more towards my foundation. So members have priority for these events. And I would assume that the Rogers induction is going to be filled up with members.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a nice perk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And as far as the play though, when you bring people there and you're watching the doubles, like what did you think of the mixed doubles this year at the US Open? What do you think of that overall event?
Oh my God, that mixed doubles. Well, I was not so happy with the whole thing. When I first talked to Stacey Alistair about it, tournament director of the US Open, who just retired, amazing person. I had a real problem at first because they weren't inviting the defending champions. And I was like, you have got to invite the defending champions. How can you not have the defending champions? You can't do that. I mean, that's just not right? I mean, you have to at least give them the chance to defend their title. So then they put him in. But I didn't like that 90% of the field had no idea how to play doubles. None. I mean, they're playing singles on the doubles court, which they just butchered the doubles game. It's a completely different game. You don't stand to serve for doubles on the tee. You just don't. I mean, Swiatek was the best example of that. She kept, and to me, that she wouldn't make the adjustment. Okay, she was serving to Draper, who's playing the deuce side, and he kept hitting his backhand return cross court sharp, and she was like running and already out of position. And a couple of times he hit return winners because she's standing on the tee to serve, and then she has to run all that way. And the fact that she didn't make the adjustment and stand over, and asked somebody about it, and they said they thought she wasn't comfortable serving from over there, which I could see because it's a different serve position, right? But I mean, somebody of that talent level should be able to make that adjustment pretty quickly, right? I mean, she's probably not going to hit her spots as accurately standing over there because she's never done it and the ball's coming from a different angle. But to me, it's still better to not hit your perfect target on the serve and not be running immediately, or worse, have Draper hit a return winner. So that was one. And then I was also surprised, and I didn't watch every match. I watched quite a few of them, but I was surprised how bad Draper played. I mean, he not only did he play bad, but he didn't understand the role of the male and mixed doubles.
Which is what?
I mean, the male has to control the match. They really, because just by the fact that they're stronger physically, they can hit the ball harder, and the girls did great managing the pace. I was surprised. I was very impressed how well the girls were returning the serves, and that's probably because they all play with men. They all have male trainers and male hitting partners and male coaches, and so they're used to the power and the pace. But not understand.
I have a question before, I hate to throw you off, but I want to, I would love your opinion on this.
Yeah.
What if there was a tournament, men and women, cross court rally tournament, off the baseline?
That's a thing actually. Oh, how many women could take out the men? Ooh, I don't know. That would be fun to watch, actually.
Don't you think there's some men that would be taken? I mean,
yeah,
especially
when you take out the movement part of it, because you would obviously take out the movement of it. Possibly.
Your opinion.
Yeah, I think there would, but still no. I mean, any guy in the top 50 can beat any woman, pretty much.
Off the baseline.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think so. And they can hit these angles and push them off the court, and I don't know.
Well, I think now all the men are amazing at rallying, but don't you think there'd be a time certainly John Isner might get beaten in a rally game.
Yeah.
Ivo Karlovic, McEnroe might have.
If you can return a serve,
right?
You put the return back in.
Feed it in.
Oh, feed without the serve.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but definitely without the serve.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, I like this question. That's a good question.
Wait, did I pick it off on the players? Can I pick on them more? Okay, so you know how I talk about the fourth quadrant in doubles?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is, I don't know how do we explain that since they're not here. So here, I have an idea. For the people who don't know what the fourth quadrant is, oh my God, I'm so not prepared for this. Sorry about this. Okay, so that's the net. Okay, here's the net.
I'm going to put you in solo layout.
Okay. Okay. So this is really bad, but here's the net, right? So that when you break the box in half and you break it in half again, you create 4 quadrants. Different things happening in each quadrant. There's an alley here, right? So from quadrant 1, you defend your alley. Quadrant 2 is your poach zone. Quadrant 3 is your defense zone. And quadrant 4 is no man's land. So to be standing over here in doubles is, okay, you can take me off, is, there's no reason to be ever standing there in doubles. And there was so many times that I saw singles players that are trying to play doubles standing there. Just not helpful, not helping the partners. And what I like most, and this will be the last thing I'll say about the mixed doubles. What I like most about that tournament is that the mixed doubles players, who were the only 2 true doubles players on the team, defended their title. And it showed that that doubles is not singles, and that true doubles players are usually going to be singles players that have no clue how to play doubles. And what I have been blabbing about, and hopefully somebody will listen to me, is that the event next year should be the defending champions and the best 15 singles players they can get, male or female, 7 and 8. And then they have to invite a doubles player. So they have to pick somebody who actually plays doubles.
I like
doubles.
that.
So then you have a person there that can sort of guide them a little bit and help them understand the game and where to stand and what to hit and strategy, and not just bashing balls with no purpose. So that's my gripe about it. Onward.
Okay,
I'm sure they won't listen to me, but that's what I say.
All right. Well, maybe you got influence. Who would you choose as a partner in today's game? Let's go male and then female.
That plays doubles? Okay,
Yes.
well, the guy that was playing mixed, that's who I would. I don't know his name, the Italian guy. He was amazing.
Guy.
I mean, he was so all over the court, and he was just huge serve. I mean, to win with Irani, who her serve was 60 miles an hour. I mean, to help her hold serve, that's the kind of partner you want. Somebody who's helping you hold serve. And for doubles, I really like Jessica Pegula. I like, I've never met her, but I really admire her. And I like how steady she is. And she has sneaky good hands. She kind of reminds me of Natasha. She's kind of aloof on the court, but solid, like never misses a return. So yeah, I'd like to play with Jessica Pegula.
Now, Coco Gauff plays a lot of doubles. What do you think of her doubles game? She's gone far in a lot of doubles tournaments. Is she a good doubles player, or is she
she's a great doubles player. But for me, like I was the finisher on our team. There's in doubles, good doubles teams have a setter and a finisher. And I was looking, when you asked me that question, I'm thinking for me, like, who would I want to play? Somebody who would match well with. And then I go to who's a setter, who's steady, who's going to not miss. I think Coco would be a little bit too erratic for me. Or not setting me, like I couldn't set her up. That's not what I used to do. So Coco needs to set her. Like Jessica sets Coco up, right? So that's why they were such a good team. But great player, but would not be good for me.
Now Coco seems like she is getting her serve more together. It's getting a little better. Would you have? If you could have been like a manager of that whole team, would you have let Gavin come in right before the U.S. Open and start working on her serve and say, well, it's long term, or would you guys? No way. What do you think? Never
in a million years. Whoever made that decision should be fired. Is he still there?
I don't know if he's still there in her life coaching her, but I even made a video about it.
I mean, to me, it's like to change it. Plus if you're like, Joe Blow working on your serve on court 100 and no one's looking and you want to work on your serve, that's fine. But if you're Coco Gauff on the practice course of the U.S. Open, I mean, that's all the telecast was talking about. I mean, it was so much pressure. Yeah. And for I don't know, I texted Lindsay actually in the middle of it. because the guy was a grip guru, and I'm like, I said to Lindsay, what the heck is a grip guru, and why is Coco changing? And then she actually texted me back. She said the guy's amazing. You know, I spent 45 minutes talking to him about Jagger's, you know, grip on his forehand or whatever it was. And I was like, oh, okay, well, he's got creds. Obviously, the guy's good, but I just don't think that the week before or during a Grand Slam is when you need to be changing your serve. I mean, I would have preferred her to get through the U.S. Opens, you know, see if how. To me, it's a mental problem, right? I mean, the problem's between her ears. It's not her serve. She's got good technique. That's not it. It's what she's thinking, and I think it's a mental problem. So I would have had her work with the psychologist on her thoughts leading up to the serve more than the actual mechanics of the serve, and then worked on it after the U.S. Open. So, but hindsight's 2020. You know, she could have won the U.S. Open, and then we'd all be like, thought it was the greatest idea ever.
Right. Okay, we have Tom, who's always active in the chat. What do you think of the Saudi Arabia tournament? What do you think of it? I
am well versed on this only because I watch Andy Roddick's podcast. I get all my tennis news from Served. So yeah, I think, I don't know. I mean, I have mixed feelings about it because it's going to be humongous appearance fees. It's a Masters 1000, but it's non-mandatory, which means that the players don't have to play, right? So there's certain Masters 1000s that are mandatory; they must play. So then there's no appearance fees there because they don't have, you know, they have to play it regardless. But the ones that they don't have to play, the only way to get them to play is to pay them, you know, these exorbitant amounts of money. You know, I don't know. I mean, I want to know what else they're doing other than adding a Masters 1000, because I heard that there's, you know, growing the game in Saudi Arabia. Hopefully it trickles to the women, even though the women have already played there. So I don't know. I mean, more money in tennis. It's just growing the game. I'm fine with it. You know, the guys are making so much money already, and the girls not as much, but the guys, they make so much money already. Like, I don't know if this will move them to how much could you offer them? I don't know. I mean, the Sinner won $6 million to win that Six King Slam, and
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel about it. Let's see how
it
goes. Which one? The Six King Slam? Yeah,
it's like
it's an exhibition. It's irrelevant.
It's exhibition, and
it's irrelevant. They shouldn't call it a slam. That's the problem, right? They call it a slam.
Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, so this is a good question, and maybe we'll take one more question, guys, and then we're going to let Gigi go. We really appreciate our time today.
That's a good question.
What about playing the score? Is that a thing that you used to think about?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, 100%. So I always tell players, first of all, there's 3 match situations that you face. You're better than your opponent, you're worse than your opponent, you're even with your opponent. And, you know, because of the league system that we all are part of in some sort, whether it's USDA or local league, you're usually somewhere near your opponents, right? But if you know that you're playing, if you're 3-5 playing with 4-0s, you know they're better. I mean, there's a reason they're 4-0s, right? So if you're better than your opponent, then you don't have to take chances. You play every point safe. You know, you just play steady tennis. You're better. You're going to win. Even if they win a set, just keep telling yourself, I'm better. I'm going to win. I'm going to find a way. If you're worse than your opponent, then you have to take all kinds of chances because otherwise you're going to lose. If you don't go for it, you know, hit 2 first serves, you know, be extra aggressive, try to get to the net more, hit the ball harder, then you're going to lose because that's where they're better. And then if you're even with your opponent, then you have to be selective about when you take chances. And when you don't want to take chances are on the big points. The big points are the first point of the game, because we know that if you win the first point of the game, in any given game, you have a 75% or some crazy high number percent more likelihood of winning that game than if you lose it. The game point, which is this one, 30, 40, 40, 30, or any game point, you don't take chances on big points. And the other one that's a big point is the fourth point of the match, 30, 15, 15, 30, 40 love 40 point. That point is big. Like if you're up 30, 15 and you win the point, you're going to win the game on 98% of the time. If you lose it and then you're back to 30 all, right? So there's all these statistics around what points are big and how important it is to win that particular point. So what I say is on 30, 40, 40, 30 points, you don't take chances. Like you got to get the first serve in and you got to get the return in the net, right? Over the net rather, in the court. So yeah, definitely play the score. don't take chances unless you have to. And when you're winning, just play steady. Don't try to do something different or crazy. Don't get creative in matches. Sometimes I watch, when I'm teaching and somebody will try a shot and I'd be like, were you just trying to hit that overhead drop shot lob? Like, what was that shot you were trying to do? Because I wouldn't even try that shot that you just tried. But so tell me about it. And they're like, oh yeah, I thought I would try that. I'm like, so understanding what's high percentage is probably the first step, because people don't know what's high percentage, right? So really study the game and study what's high percentage and stick to the high percentage shots and doubles, and you're going to win more than if you try crazy shots that are fun, but you don't always pull them off.
All right, Gigi, you did amazing today. We're going to let you go. I have one question for you. If you could change one thing about tennis, it could be recreational tennis, like a program, or on the pro tour. If there was one change that you could make in tennis, what would it be?
I would raise the nets. And I've been saying that for a while. I would raise the net. It would eliminate the serve. It would eliminate the dominance of the serve, right? If the net was higher. And it would also make it easier for volleyers, right? Because the ball would be a little bit higher. So, or maybe it would make it harder. I don't know, because then they'd have to volley out. But it was more for the serve, to eliminate the dominance of the serve, so we have more rallies.
Okay, raise
That's
the net.
what I would do.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. Would you like people to go to Tennis for Hope? Where should people go?
tennisforhope.org. You get it. If you join us a member, you get a little vibration dampener that we had made. Isn't that cute? It's a little vibration dampener for your racket. I'll throw one of these in too.
Oh, you get two.
I got one. And then look what it says in the back. Can you read it?
I can't read it. What does it say?
Detach from the outcome.
Oh, that's good.
Detach from the outcome. It's my career motto. That's why I won 17 Grand Slams, because I knew how to detach from the outcome. I learned how to detach from the outcome. Number one advice for anybody out there: don't worry about the outcome. It's that happens on match point. Worry about what the next point you're about to play.
That is great advice to leave everybody with. Gigi, thank you so much for coming on. I know you're super busy. Everybody definitely appreciates it and loves you.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you again next year.
See you again. Bye.
See you guys.